So today I wanted to talk a bit about age gateways. Okay, nobody wants to create these things, but the industry has decided that putting up these age gateways is something to protect them from being accused of marketing to underage folks, and so they are the reality. That being said, if you're going to include these, let's make them as easy as possible for people to get through, because the majority of people coming to your winery website are over 21 and interested in your winery, and those people, let's not get in their way of shopping and learning and placing reservations and so forth. So I came to this website. This is Chad's Ford Winery. They're based in the Philadelphia suburbs, pretty well known in the Mid-Atlantic, probably not so much outside, but I thought there were some interesting things on here that would allow me to talk through some of the good practices and bad practices of these age barriers. So the first thing that I noticed is that this particular website is requiring me to type in this information. Now, there are two approaches to these age verification screens. One is to say, are you over 21 in the US or of age in your country? Yes or no, simple yes or no. And the other is to be a little more aggressive and require someone to actually type in a date of birth. Neither is an actual verification of age, right? But some more conservative companies might believe that the date of birth verification offers more protection. I'm not sure I'm convinced. And to be honest, from a UX standpoint, and again, thinking that the vast majority of people who are coming are going to be over 21, the yes/no is a much easier and quicker thing, especially on a phone. No one likes typing on their phone. Get me through the screen as quickly as possible. So if your winery is comfortable with the yes/no, that is certainly going to create a better experience for your actual customers. That being said, maybe some companies are not going to be comfortable with that and want to stick with the type in. So let's talk through some of the options with that. I will say that typing is better than dropdowns. Okay, especially on a phone, it's very cumbersome to go through dropdowns, especially year. Okay, no one wants to scroll through 50 years to get to their particular year. So allowing them to type it out is a much quicker option. So let's go ahead and click into this form. So the first thing I notice when I click into month here is that the text keyboard pops up. Okay, there are 3 keyboards that you can specify when you're designing the page, when you're coding the page. Okay, and one is text, the second is the number keypad, which is what you see here, and the third is a telephone keypad, which is the large numbers. Now, in a case where you have a form field where there are only numbers allowed, okay, now I do notice that this particular form allows me to type in things other than numbers, which it should not, okay? It should only allow numbers, and that's another thing you can do in the coding very simply. But by bringing up the telephone keypad, which is the large numbers, it's going to allow me to have much larger touch targets on my phone and get through this form much faster. Okay, so that's a simple change you can make that just makes it much easier for people to get through it. Now, when I start typing, what I notice is that it does jump to the next field. So I notice that there are 3 fields instead of a single field. And I would say that it's definitely going to be better to provide a single field. I like the fact that this particular form does jump to the next field, so I don't have to click next. But if I made a mistake, if I typed in 12 and I meant to type in 11, clicking the back arrow does nothing. Okay, the other thing is that when I jump to the next field, it takes me to the wrong keyboard again. So if this was a single field, it would eliminate some of those issues and allow me to just backspace. There's a particular a technique called field masking, which also gives, it automatically formats the information as the person's typing so that they can, understand the month, date, year format in a single field, but then also offer the benefits of being able to backspace and things of that nature. So the fact that it jumps to the next field, better than it not jumping to the next field, but ideal state would be to have a single field. The last thing that's kind of interesting here is that once I've completed the form, it's smart enough to take me out of the form so I can hit the continue button. But again, it would probably be better to just submit the form, right? If it's smart enough to know that I filled out the form and validate that, just submit the form and get me to the next step, right? Because that's the entire goal of this is to get your customers through as quickly and easily as possible. One last thing, I typed in 1, 2, 3, 4 for a reason, just to show that going back to the whole, are you 21? Yes, no. There's no additional validation being done here. If I was born in 1234, I would be above 21, and it's taking that at face value, which, again, if you're not going to actually validate that this is a real thing, then, why not just have a yes, no, which as I pointed out at the beginning, is much easier. Anyway, that is just a quick look at some ways that you can potentially improve your age gateway. And again, keeping in mind the idea that yes, you're doing this to protect your business to some extent and to protect the industry, but at the end of the day, you want to make it as easy and fast for your actual customers to get through as you possibly can.